Hello students, we are studying today packaging of DNA, that is known as the packaging of the DNA helix, and we are studying the packaging of the DNA helix in the case of the eukaryotes. Now the question arises that why we are actually studying the DNA packaging. So you must know that DNA is too much long, okay, and chromosome is too much thick. Chromosome is too much thick while the DNA is too much long. Okay, so the DNA is packed in the chromosome. DNA is packed in the chromosome. Okay, so we are going to study the packaging of the DNA helix. Now, how it is possible to pack the DNA? The packaging of the DNA is only possible by the folding and the compaction of the DNA with histone proteins. Okay, it is possible. How the packaging of the DNA is possible? It is possible by folding and compaction of the DNA with the histone proteins. Okay, so to study the packaging, we have to study the nucleosomal model. The nucleosomal model is the best studied model to explain the packaging of the DNA helix. This nucleosomal model was first of all given by two scientists known as the Kornberg and the Thomas. Okay, and you must know that because you are studying the nucleosomal model, you must know that who gave the term nucleosome. So the term nucleosome was given by Audet, right? So the nucleosomal model was given by Kornberg and Thomas, while the term or the name nucleosome was given by Audet. Now in the nucleosomal model, you must know that what is the literal meaning of the word nucleosome. What is nucleosome? So basically nucleosome constitute the repeating units of a structure found in the nucleus, and that is called as what? Chromatin. Means what I can say, that the nucleosomes are nothing, they are the subunits of chromatin. They are the subunits of chromatin. What is a nucleosome? Nucleosome is a subunit of chromatin. Say for I have made a thread-like structure. This thread-like structure is nothing, it is the chromatin, right? And on this chromatin you can see certain bead-like structure. On this chromatin you can see beads-like structure, and these structures are nothing, they are called as what? Nucleosomes. So I can say that a nucleosome is subunit of a chromatin. What is this? This thread-like structure is what? Chromatin. And on this chromatin many subunits are present. Each subunit is called as what? Nucleosome. So I can say that nucleosome is a subunit of chromatin, and chromatin consists of many nucleosomes. And you can see here that the structure drawn here can be seen as a beads on a string like structure. Beads on a string like structure. Say for the structure is similar to many beads attached to a string, and that's why it is called as a bead like structure. Okay, so altogether we can say that the nucleosome constitute what? Repeating units of a structure in the nucleus, which is called as what? Chromatin. So we can say that it is a subunit of chromatin, and the nucleosomes are present on the chromatin just as beads on string. They are present as beads on string structure, right? And what are chromatin? What are chromatin? So thread-like colored bodies. Chromatins are nothing, they are the thread-like colored bodies seen in the nucleus, and on this thread-like colored bodies known as the chromatin are certain structures present known as what? Nucleosome. Is it clear? So chromatin is the thread, and on this thread what are present at various places? What are present? The subunits are present that are known as what? Nucleosome. Okay, now the question arises that a nucleosome is composed of. What is a complete nucleosome? What is a complete nucleosome consist of? Okay, so nucleosome consists of what? You can see here that this diagram is showing a structure of a nucleosome. This is a single nucleosome. Okay, so nucleosome is also called as the new body, and in a nucleosome you can see this part, center part, which is also called as the core. Okay, so I can say that the core of the core of the nucleosome is made up of octamer of histone protein. The core means the central part of the nucleosome is made up of a octamer of histone proteins. Okay, now again the question arises that what are histone proteins? Okay, so histone proteins are basically positively charged proteins. Okay, they are positively charged proteins, right? Or we can say that they are basic proteins. They are basic proteins, and these histones are of 5 types: H1, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. Again I am repeating, the histone proteins are positively charged proteins, they are basic proteins, and they are of how many types? They are of 5 types: H1, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. And as we know that because these are proteins, we know very well that all proteins are made up of amino acids, right? They are made up of different amino acids. So you must know that the histone proteins are made up of 2 amino acids known as the lysine and the arginine. Means I want to say that these histone proteins, these 5 type of the histone proteins are rich in lysine and arginine. They are rich in lysine and arginine. Okay, so the core, this one, the core, I can say that this is the core. The core is made up of, the core of the nucleosome is made up of octamer of histone proteins. Now the question arises that which histone proteins form the core, right? So out of the 5 histone proteins, just forget H1 histone protein. Just forget H1 histone protein. Okay, you have to just deal with the 4 histone proteins: H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. And all these 4 except the H1, these 4 histone proteins are present in pairs to form the octamer, right? If H2A is present in pair, H2A means I want to say 2 molecules of H2A, 2 molecules of H2B, 2 molecules of H3 and 2 molecules of H4, right? Means total means what? 8 means what? Octamer. So the core of the nucleosome is made up of octamer of histone proteins. Okay, and just wrapped around this core of histone protein is the DNA. So this is the DNA. This is the DNA which is wrapped around the core made up of histone proteins. Okay, so around this core of histone protein is present negatively charged DNA, because we must know that histone proteins were positively charged and the DNA wrapped around is what? Negatively charged. So what will happen? The negatively charged DNA will be attracted towards what? The positively charged what? Histone proteins. Okay, right? And the DNA which is wrapped around the core of histone protein is having 200 base pairs. Means this DNA which is wrapped around the core of the histone protein consists of what? 200 base pairs. And you must know that the number of turns of the DNA are 1.75 turns. Means 1.75 turns of the DNA consisting of 200 base pairs are wrapped around what? The core made up of what? Octamer of histone proteins. So this forms what? This forms the complete nucleosome or the new body. Okay, now you must also know that the histone proteins are basic proteins. Histone proteins are basic proteins, while you must know that DNA is what? Acidic. DNA is what? Acidic in nature, right? Why? Because of the presence of the phosphate groups. Because of the presence of the phosphate groups means it has phosphoric acid in it, and hence it is treated as what? Acidic. Okay, so you must know about this nucleosome also. Now what happens? That there are, you know very well that there are many nucleosomes on the chromatin. There are many nucleosomes on the chromatin, and that's why nucleosome is called as what? The subunit of chromatin. Okay, so you must know that adjacent nucleosome, say for this is one nucleosome and this is another nucleosome. So the adjacent nucleosomes are joined together. Adjacent nucleosomes are joined together by the help of a DNA, and that DNA is called as what? Linker DNA. You must know about the linker DNA also. If somebody asks you what is a linker DNA, so linker DNA is the DNA which links the adjacent nucleo that is known as the adjacent nucleosomes. Okay, adjacent nucleosomes. So say for if this is a nucleosome, this is a nucleosome. So two nearby nucleosomes are joined together with the help of what? Linker DNA. And remember one thing, associated with the linker DNA, associated with the linker DNA is H1 histone proteins. Okay, so you must know that out of the 5 type of the histone proteins, 4 histone proteins were associated with the core of the nucleosome, while the remaining one, known as the H1 histone protein, is basically associated with the linker DNA, is associated with what? The linker DNA. Okay, not only this, now the question arises that what happens, how a chromosome is formed, how a chromosome is formed. So you must know that what happens, that beads on string structure, beads on string structure, you know very well that this is a beads on string structure. Now beads on string structure means what? Beads on string structure is made up of what? Nucleosome. Beads on string structure is called as what? Nucleosome. Now what happens, that nucleosomes are packed, nucleosomes are packed and they form the solenoid. Nucleosomes are packed to form what? Solenoid. Or we can say that beads on string structure is more folded, it is more packed, and it forms what? The solenoid. Now the question arises that what is this solenoid? What is this solenoid? So what happens, the beaded string, this one, the beaded string is coiled again, and it's more folded, it's more coiled to form a cylindrical coil. It forms a cylindrical coil or a solenoid, or a solenoid, or a solenoid having 6 nucleosome per turn. Okay, so what happens, I just want to say that this beads on string structure, that is known as a nucleosome, it becomes coiled, it becomes coiled again, it becomes coiled, it becomes more folded to form a cylindrical coil, or we can say that what? It forms what? Solenoid. Means it is more coiled structure, more coiled structure having 6 nucleosome per turn. Means a solenoid is having 6 nucleosomes per turn. And the information about the solenoid was given by a scientist whose name was Klug. Whose name was what? Klug. Now what happens, that this solenoid forms what? Chromatin fibers. This solenoid forms what? Chromatin fibers, and these chromatin fibers coil and condense, these chromatin fibers coil and condense during the cell division, and at the metaphase stage, at the metaphase stage of the cell division, the chromatin fibers form what? Chromatid, and from the chromatid what are formed? That is known as what? The chromosomes are formed. One thing more you must know, that what is a chromosome? If somebody asks you that what is a chromosome, what is a chromosome? So you must know that chromosome is nothing, it is DNA plus protein. It is what? DNA plus protein. What is a chromosome? If somebody asks you that what is a chromosome, so chromosome is DNA plus protein. So you can see that a chromosome is formed by what? Nucleosome, which was a bead-like structure, present on the chromatin. So chromosome is formed basically from the beads on string-like structure known as the nucleosome. And a nucleosome consists of what? A nucleosome consists of what? DNA and protein. DNA and protein. So we can say that chromosome is made up of what? DNA and protein. Just I want to say that beads on string-like structure, nucleosome, show too much coiling and too much folding to form a cylindrical coil, or we can say that solenoid, right, which is having 6 nucleosome per turn. This solenoid structure, which is a more coiled form, combined to form what? Chromatin fibers. These chromatin fibers coil and condense to form chromatid, and chromatid forms what? Chromosome. It means, it suggests that a chromosome is made up of DNA and proteins. Okay. Now, if we want to package the chromatin, at higher levels, means packaging of the chromatin, right, at the higher levels requires some additional set of proteins. See here, just now we have used only the histone proteins, which were the basic proteins, but if we want to package the chromatin at higher levels, it requires certain additional set of the proteins, and these additional set of the proteins are called as NHC, means they are also called as non-histone chromosomal protein. They are also called as what? Non-histone chromosomal protein, known as what? NHC. Okay, and at the last you must also know about that what is how many types of the chromatin may be present. See, you know very well that chromatin were thread-like structures. They were colored bodies which were found in the nucleus. Okay, but you must also know that what is a chromatin, and chromatin are colored bodies. So chromatins are of two types, right? They are euchromatin and heterochromatin. Two types of the chromatins are found in the nucleus, euchromatin and heterochromatin. You must know about three differences between a euchromatin and a heterochromatin. There was a scientist whose name was Emil Hertz, right? There was a scientist whose name was Emil Hertz, who gave information about these two types of the chromatin, known as the euchromatin and the heterochromatin. You must know that euchromatin are loosely packed. These are the chromatin which are not so much tightly packed. They are loosely packed, while the heterochromatin are the type of the chromatins which are densely packed. They are tightly packed. This is the first point of difference between euchromatin and heterochromatin. The second point is that euchromatin stains light. It stains light when they are stained. Okay, chromatins were what? Colored bodies found in the nucleus. So a colored body which seems to be light in color, little bit it is stained light, and they are called as what? Euchromatin. While heterochromatin is the part found in the nucleus which is little bit darkly stained. It is dark in color. And the third point is that the euchromatin is transcriptionally active. Okay, it is transcriptionally active, while the heterochromatin is transcriptionally, it is what? Inactive. So these 3 points of differences you must know. So student, this was all about what? The packaging of the DNA helix. You must know about the packaging of the DNA helix. Many times questions are asked in many competitive exams from this area. So this was the total information about the nucleosomal model or the packaging of the DNA helix in the case of the eukaryotes. Keep watching my videos. Thanks a lot.